Hey friends, today you're going to hear a creepy story that a girl named Sarah posted on Reddit on April 24th, 2024. She thought she had the perfect family until she discovered her husband's secret video. Let's dive in and find out what happened.
Hi, Reddit. I don't even know where to start. My name's Sarah. I'm 34 and I just can't believe I'm writing this. A month ago, my life fell apart. I thought I had the perfect family, a husband, a son, a cozy home, but then I found a hard drive hidden among my son's stuff and there was a video on it. A video that shattered everything I believed in. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't even know if I'm safe right now. I need to get this off my chest because I can't keep it inside anymore. I'm scared, I'm desperate, and I don't know what to do. How can one discovery turn your whole life upside down? Please, if you have any advice, leave it in the comments. I really need help. I met Michael in 2016. I was 27, he was 29. We lived in a small town in Ohio and met at a friend's party. He was so charming, tall, with a kind smile, always knowing how to make people laugh. We started dating, and a year later, we moved in together. In 2018, we got married. The wedding was everything I'd ever dreamed of. Me in a white dress my mom had sewn, 50 guests, flowers everywhere, and Michael looking at me like I was his entire world. We wrote our own vows, and he promised to love me forever. In 2020, our son Ethan was born. It was pure happiness. We bought a house in the suburbs, small but cozy, with a white picket fence, a garden where I grew roses, and a swing set for Ethan in the backyard. I worked as an elementary school teacher, Michael in IT. I thought everything was perfect. I'd post photos on social media, us having dinner together, Michael reading bedtime stories to Ethan, us walking in the park. But in 2023, I started noticing strange things. Michael began staying late at work. He'd say it was a new project, that he was helping colleagues, that it wouldn't last long, but I saw him hide his phone when I walked into the room. One time I came into the bedroom and he quickly shut his laptop. His voice trembled as he said, "It's just work, Sarah. Nothing interesting." I tried talking to him, asking what was going on, but he brushed it off. "You're overthinking it," he'd say, and his smile started feeling more and more forced. I didn't want to believe he was hiding something serious. This was Michael, the person I trusted more than anyone, but deep down, this gnawing feeling grew that something was wrong. It all started in March 2024. I was making dinner, just a regular evening. Ethan was playing with his toy cars in the living room. Michael was in the shower and his phone was on the kitchen table. He never left it unlocked, but that night he must have forgotten. It buzzed and I saw a notification. It was a message from a woman named Kate. "Meet up Friday?" I froze. I knew Kate. She was his coworker, the one he often went on business trips with. I'd always thought it was just work, but something inside me made me open the chat. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through the messages. It was all there. "You were amazing. I miss you. Sarah doesn't suspect a thing." I couldn't breathe. He'd been cheating on me for the past year with Kate, the one he was supposedly working with. I sat there in the kitchen staring at the phone, tears streaming down my face. When Michael got out of the shower, I couldn't hold it in. I screamed at him, asked how he could do this to me. He dropped to his knees, started crying, begging me to forgive him. "It was just Kate," he said. "I ended it. It won't happen again. I love you, Sarah." I didn't know what to do. We had Ethan, a home, 7 years together. I decided to give him a chance. "Tell me everything," I said. "If you lie, I'm gone." He swore he'd told me the whole truth, but he was lying. A week later, I decided to look for old photos of Ethan for an album. I pulled out a box of his baby stuff from the closet. His first toys, drawings he made in preschool, tiny socks I'd kept as keepsakes. I was going through it all when I stumbled across an old hard drive. I'd never seen it before. It had a sticker that said, "Work 2022. I thought it might be some of Michael's old files, maybe with pictures from our family trips. I plugged it into my laptop and opened it. There was a folder labeled Personal. I clicked on it and inside was a video. I played it and my heart stopped. On the screen was Michael, in our bedroom, on our bed, the one I slept in with Ethan, where we read him bedtime stories. He was with another woman, a blonde I'd never seen before. It was disgusting. He was fucking her brutally, roughly, like some kind of animal act, and she was screaming in pleasure. I couldn't look away, even though it made me sick. Then Michael looked at the camera and said, "Sarah's such an idiot. She sleeps right where I fuck you." They both laughed and I felt my entire world collapse. I sat there in the dark, staring at the screen, trembling. I couldn't even cry. I was in shock, disgusted, feeling dirty. That bed, I'd slept in it every night, tucked Ethan in there, and he did this with her, recorded it, and laughed at me. I imagined how many times I'd lain in that bed, clueless about what had happened there. I felt nauseous, ran to the bathroom, and threw up. I couldn't believe the man I loved, the father of my son, was this kind of monster. I realized he hadn't just cheated with Kate, he'd been with other women too, even before our wedding, before Ethan was born. He recorded it all, kept the videos like trophies, and hid them among our son's things. I felt empty, like everything I had was a lie. I couldn't breathe. It felt like the walls were closing in. I wanted to scream, but I was afraid of waking Ethan. I just sat on the floor, hugging my knees, trying to figure out how I could have been so blind. I couldn't believe the person I loved was like this. I decided to dig deeper. While Michael was at work, I checked his laptop. I knew his password. He used Ethan's birthday. I found another conversation with the blonde from the video. Her name was Emily. They were messaging in 2022, and in one text, Emily wrote, "If Sarah finds out, what do we do?" Michael replied with a joking message, "We'll have to get rid of her, haha. If she finds out, it's over." I felt my hands start to shake. I didn't know what he meant by get rid of, but it sounded like a threat, though the two laughing emojis staring at me from the screen were slightly reassuring. I started recalling little things, how he once said, "Getting insurance on you is a good idea," how he insisted I not change the locks even after a package was stolen from our porch. I began to suspect Michael might have another family. I found receipts in his email for an apartment rental in a nearby city, the same one he went to for his business trips. I realized this wasn't just cheating. He was living a double life, and I was in danger. I couldn't stay in that house anymore. I packed our things, just the essentials, clothes for me and Ethan, our documents, and the little cash I had. I left a note on the kitchen table. "I know everything. Don't look for me." That same evening, I drove to my sister's place an hour away. Ethan was asleep in the back seat, and I kept checking the rearview mirror the whole way, terrified I'd see Michael's car. But that night at 2 a.m., my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered, and I heard Michael's voice. He said, "You weren't supposed to see that? Bring my son back and get out of my life. You'll regret this." I hung up, but I couldn't sleep. I sat by the window at my sister's house, holding Ethan in my arms, watching the road. I was scared he'd come for us. I still don't know what he'll do if he finds me. I escaped, but my life will never be the same. I'm still terrified Michael will track me down. What was he hiding? Just affairs or an entire second family? What was the point of all this? How far would he go? I don't know if I'll ever recover from this. I need help. My sister's taking care of Ethan, but I just lie here unable to pull myself together. I can't go to a therapist because I'm too scared. I'm afraid the police will brush me off or not take me seriously. I'm lost. What should I do? Please write something, anything. I really need to hear your thoughts and get some support.